Have you ever felt an invisible fear gripping you? It's not the fear of a monster under your bed or some tangible threat. It's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of change, or even the fear of success itself. Is that fear holding you back, preventing you from stepping out of your comfort zone, from chasing your dreams, or even from living the full, vibrant life you truly deserve? If your answer is yes, then you are absolutely not alone. And I'm here to share a secret with you, a secret I learned through my own journey, a journey of transforming my biggest fears into extraordinary power. This isn't just another generic motivational speech. This is a true story. And I believe this story will change the way you look at fear forever. In life, we're often taught that fear is the enemy, that we must fight it, conquer it, or simply ignore it. But what if I told you that fear isn't the enemy at all? What if it's a friend, a teacher, a powerful catalyst for your growth? I used to be someone who lived surrounded by fear. My biggest fear wasn't failure. It was mediocrity. The fear that I would never achieve what I truly desired. The fear that I would forever be stuck in a meaningless life. This fear haunted me for years, causing me to procrastinate, to doubt myself, and to miss countless opportunities. Today, I'm going to tell you about a period in my life when this fear reached its peak and how I found the secret to not just overcome it, but to transform it into my most potent driving force. This is the story of how I learned that the monsters in our minds are not the exception. They are the rule, and in accepting them, we unlock our truest potential. My story begins about 5 years ago. At that time, I was working in a field I had absolutely no passion for. Every morning I woke up feeling heavy, completely devoid of motivation. I dreaded facing another monotonous workday, facing the expectations of others, and most of all, facing myself in the mirror, a version of me slowly losing all enthusiasm. I knew I wanted to change. I had a burning dream to be creatively free, to share positive values with a wider community. But the fear, it was overwhelming. The fear that I would fail, the fear that I would lose my stable job, the fear that everyone would laugh at me. These thoughts constantly swirled in my head, forming an invisible wall that prevented me from taking action. I remember one evening sitting alone in a dimly lit room, staring at my computer screen with a blank document open. It was a personal project I had been nurturing for so long, but I couldn't even type a single line. Fear had frozen me. I felt like a ship stranded in the middle of the ocean, without a compass, without the drive to set sail. I asked myself, how long will I live like this? Will I let this fear define my entire life? That was the moment I realized I couldn't continue this way. I needed a change, but how do you change when fear has become so deeply ingrained in your subconscious? My first step was so tiny it was almost insignificant. I started by reading self-help books, listening to motivational podcasts. I sought out stories of people who had overcome adversity, people who had transformed their fears into fuel. I realized that fear wasn't unique to me. Everyone experiences fear. The real challenge is how we choose to face it. I began to experiment. I tried writing the first few lines for my project, even if it was just a couple of sentences. I tried enrolling in an online course for a new skill, even though I was terrified I wasn't smart enough. I tried sharing my ideas with a few close friends, even though I feared their judgment. And you know what? It wasn't easy at all. I faced rejections. I made mistakes. There were days I felt completely exhausted and wanted to give up. I remember one time I sent a draft of my project to a mentor. Their feedback wasn't what I expected. They pointed out so many weaknesses, and I felt like my world was crumbling. The fear of failure rushed back stronger than ever. I thought, I can't do this. I'm useless. But then something shifted within me. Instead of dwelling in negativity, I started asking myself, what can I learn from this? I began to reframe those negative experiences. Instead of seeing it as a failure, I saw it as feedback. Instead of seeing it as rejection, I saw it as a valuable lesson. I started telling myself positive affirmations. I am valuable. I can learn and grow. I am meant for this work. The real turning point came when I realized a simple yet profound truth. Fear is not something to be eliminated. It is a signal. It is a compass. It shows you what truly matters to you, because you only fear losing what you genuinely cherish. I began to change my relationship with fear. Instead of running from it, I started running towards it. I no longer fled from what I was afraid of. I ran toward what lit me up. Here's the secret I uncovered. Embrace the fear. Don't try to ignore or suppress it. Acknowledge its presence. Say, hello, fear, I know you're here. Thank you for trying to protect me, but this time I'm going to take the step on my own. Decode fear's message. Fear often carries a message. The fear of failure might mean you deeply care about success. The fear of rejection might mean you crave connection. When you understand this message, you can turn it into motivation. Act despite the fear. This is the hardest part, but also the most crucial. You don't need to be fearless to act. Act with the fear. Take small, incremental steps. Every single step, no matter how tiny, is a victory. Reframe your narrative. Instead of saying, I'm afraid to fail, say, I'm learning to overcome challenges. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I'm on a journey of self-improvement. The way you speak to yourself holds immense power. Seek support. Don't be afraid to share your fears with people you trust. Sometimes just being heard is enough to lighten the burden, or seek out a mentor, a community that shares your aspirations. I applied these principles to my life. I started setting small, achievable goals and celebrated every tiny victory. I consistently practiced positive affirmations every single day. I sought out those who had walked the path before me and learned from their experiences. And gradually, the wall of fear within me began to crumble. Fear is not a dead end. It's a turning point. It's an invitation to discover the hidden power within you. It's like a path leading down into the canyon where once you reach the bottom, everything becomes clearer and brighter. So, is fear holding you back? If it is, then this is your moment to rewrite that story. This is your moment to transform fear into power. Here are 3 actionable steps you can start today. Identify your biggest fear. Write down one specific fear that is holding you back. Don't judge it, just acknowledge it. Find its message. What is this fear trying to tell you? What does it reveal about what you truly care about? Take one small action, despite the fear. It could be a phone call, sending an email, reading one page of a book, or simply speaking a positive affirmation to yourself. Do it right now. Remember, this journey isn't about being fearless. It's about learning to jump with the fear. And when you do that, you will unlock a stronger, more confident version of yourself. If this story resonated with you, or if you learned something new, please hit that like button. It truly helps the channel grow and spread this message to more people. And if you want to continue your journey of unlocking your inner power, receiving more actionable advice, inspiring stories, and practical strategies to live a full life, don't forget to subscribe to my channel right now. Join our community, where we grow together and overcome all limits. Share in the comments below. What is your biggest fear? And what small action will you take to face it today? I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for watching. Remember, you are stronger than you think. And fear is just a secret waiting for you to turn it into power. See you in the next video.